What's up, guys, and welcome into another edition of the Rally Time podcast. As always, I'm your host, Justin Babin Jr., Christian here, producing the show once again. And what a statement from the Fighting Tigers LSU baseball team this weekend. Just a phenomenal win, a statement series win against the defending national champions. We saw an attendance record be broken this weekend in the game on Saturday. Christian, we kind of called it last week, about we really thought coming in. I thought they would have broken the attendance record on Friday if it hadn't been delayed until like 9:50.
Yeah, and I think the attendance record again could be broken later in the season versus Arkansas. But we did see the writing on the wall last week whenever they broke the season attendance record versus Alabama on a Saturday. So Tennessee rolls into town the next week, the number 7 team or number 6 team in the country, and yeah, record got broken, got shattered. So.
Yeah, but no, LSU won the national championship in 2023. Tennessee won it last year in 2024. So it was a big matchup coming in. I texted you, Christian, Friday, or after game 1, so probably on Saturday morning. I predicted LSU for the first time to lose an SEC series. I had predicted that I had never predicted them to lose so far on this show, but I predicted them to lose this series because I just didn't feel great about offensive production coming into this week. You know, it was kind of going back to the first game of the Auburn series. The offensive production had kind of trended downward the past 2 weeks, but they just, especially Sunday, just lit it up.
Yeah.
And then in that, ninth inning on Friday night. Now, the 2 starters Friday and Saturday for Tennessee, Liam Doyle and Marcus Phillips, did a really good job of shutting the LSU offense down pretty much.
Yeah.
But after that, LSU was able to find their stride.
Yeah, and I would not discredit you for picking LSU to lose the series because, like you said, they were trending away, and I didn't think it was a bad pick from you. I picked LSU, but it kind of seems like you need to stick with picking the opposite of what is going to happen. So keep predicting LSU losses, and they will keep winning. So
if I only predict LSU losses, I'll be labeled as a hater, though. I don't want to be an LSU hater. I love LSU.
Yeah, and I've been more of a hater than you have this year, too. I mean, I did predict the Texas series L. I guess I was kind of hating then, but I got it right. I did predict I think I predicted a Missouri. I predicted them to drop a game that week. I did not expect them to sweep Missouri, but Missouri's 0-21, so I guess that's kind of a bad pick on my part. So.
But no, it was a fantastic series win for LSU. Just a few. We're going to get into breaking down all of these games, or pretty much, especially Friday and Sunday, the 2 wins LSU got. But just a few thoughts, big picture thoughts I have coming in. Before we get into the breakdown of those games. The offense struggled against great pitches in the first 2 games, except for a really phenomenal 6-run 9th inning in game 1 on, I want to say Friday night, but really it was early Saturday morning. LSU I think they only had like 3 hits or something through the first 8 innings in game 1 on late Friday night, early Saturday morning, but then they just broke through with a 6-run 9th inning to walk it off, and Jerry Jones hit it over the batter's eye, 452-foot moonshot to give LSU the win. And one of the great, it was a great game, especially Friday, coming back and LSU getting that win.
Absolutely. And on Saturday or Sunday, I believe, they kind of ran it back and they kind of showed a rewind of the Greg Deichmann home run from 2017 that went over the Intimidator. Justin, you know how far that home run went? Are you sure about the one I'm talking about?
I don't.
It was a midweek game, and Greg Deichmann, who played for the Cubs, I think he's retired now, hit a ball 486 feet over the Intimidator in the midweek game. So Jared Jones is very close to that power. He just needs to catch one that he pulls kind of down the line. He doesn't have the advantage of putting it over the Intimidator because Greg Deichmann was a lefty. But I did see that stat on, I think, Saturday, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
I don't care how he does it. He just did it when it mattered. So good on Jared Jones, and that was a really good start to the weekend. I thought really that all three of the starting pitchers for LSU, Cade Anderson, Anthony Ianson, and Kason Evans, especially on Sunday in his first collegiate start, I thought all starters were pretty good this weekend. I really did. One thing I did want to talk about, before we go into the game breakdown, Christian, is we talked about how we were kind of concerned about the long ball coming into this weekend because Tennessee was number 2 in the nation in terms of total home runs coming into this weekend. Do you know how many home runs LSU gave up this weekend?
One. They gave up a singular one.
They only gave up one home run this entire weekend in the 3 games, and that was, that was a huge win. Like getting the team who has power in somebody. I saw somebody tweet it out. LSU 7 home runs on the weekend. Tennessee 1 home run on the weekend in a real college baseball park, not a little league park like Tennessee's. I thought that was funny because Tennessee's ballpark is very, very, very hitter friendly, very short dimensions. But no, I thought it was really important to keep the long ball down for Tennessee, and the LSU pitching staff did a great job of that. Evans, his first collegiate start was fantastic on Sunday. It was great from him. Again, great fight in game 1, 6-run 9th inning. And another thing is, the offense really broke it open on Sunday in game 3, mainly off of an incredible game by Derek Curiel. Saturday in game 2, Derek Curiel's on-base streak was broken. It was his first game Saturday in game 2 where he hadn't made it on base. First game of his college career where he had not made it on base. And he followed that up on Sunday in game 3 in the rubber match with a 4-for-4 day.
His best game
with 5 RBIs, 1 bomb, and 2 doubles. The guy was just absolutely amazing on Sunday in that rubber match. He just started from the first at bat of the game. He led off with a homer. It was just an incredible game for Derek Curiel. LSU has moved up all the way. I believe they were ranked number 7 last week. They've moved up all the way to number 2 now. Number 2 are LSU in the D1 baseball top 25, rightfully so.
Yeah.
And this sets them up. This really sets them up great to host stuff like that.
I do want to show this on camera. I think we need to remember that Friday night, Saturday morning. Look at this absolute
mash
shot.
Mash.
Game's over.
Yeah.
Game's over, Blue. Game's over.
My question is, what is the umpire doing?
He's telling him to get going.
I'm
start rounding the bases. And Jared Jones is like, dude, you can't tell me shit. The game's over. And the game was over.
I saw that, and because I wasn't paying attention to that the first 2 times I saw it, but somebody on Twitter, or X, highlighted that, and I paid attention to the umpire, and I'm like, what is he doing? The game's over. Game's over. I guess he didn't want it to be heated or a brawl to break out or anything if he thought Jared was mocking the Tennessee pitching staff or whatever, but that one was kind of confusing, but it was just a great start to the weekend, great weekend period, and let's get into the game by game breakdown a little bit. We're gonna try to definitely break down Friday and Sunday and a little bit on Saturday. Game 1 on Friday night, late Friday night, the game was delayed by 3 hours and 20 minutes due to bad weather in the area, unfortunately. LSU won 6-3 with a massive 9th inning comeback. Cade Anderson and Liam Doyle were the starters for their 2 respective squads, and both starters were great on Friday night. It was pretty much a pitcher's duel throughout the first half of the game. LSU didn't have a hit until the 6th inning, and they only had 3 hits after 8 innings. And they didn't score a run until the 9th inning. Liam Doyle pretty much shut the LSU hitting down. Pretty much Liam Doyle did in that game. He was pretty dominant. Doyle pitched 6 2/3 scoreless innings, only gave up 1 hit with 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. Cade Anderson was also really, really good. At one point in the game, Cade Anderson retired 10 Tennessee batters in a row. Anderson did not allow a run until an Andrew Fisher RBI single in the 6th inning, and then Anderson gave up one more run. Anderson gave up another run in the 8th off of a Hunter Ensley RBI single before Zach Cowan came into the game and got LSU out of the 8th on 13 pitchers. So yeah, I thought Cade Anderson was really fantastic. You know, his last 2 starts against Auburn and Alabama before the Tennessee start were kind of shaky in terms of his standards. I mean, he wasn't awful or anything like that, but in terms of the standards Cade Anderson has set, it wasn't his best. But I thought he was great on Friday night for the most part against Tennessee. Yeah, I mean, he pitched, I thought he was really good. He pitched 7 1/3 innings, only gave up 2 runs on 6 hits, 3 walks, 1 wild pitch, and 11 strikeouts for Cade Anderson. And the big thing for Anderson, he did not give up a home run in this game, which was big coming in. We talked about it, Christian, how we were kind of concerned about Cade Anderson when he has struggled at times this season. It's been as far as giving up the long ball, and he didn't do that on Friday night against Tennessee, which was really important coming in. So really, really good game out of Cade Anderson.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was also very important that Cade had that performance against the guy Liam Doyle, because if you don't have a good pitching performance on Friday night, I'm not sure you get the win.
Yeah,
they kept that game so close, 3 runs. I mean, that's clearly surmountable, right? So if you can come out of that game with that Friday win, because you saw Saturday they took the L, but they come out with that Friday win. Cade Anderson was absolute nails. So
yeah, Jacob Myers in the 9th inning gave up another run on an RBI double by Tennessee hitter Gavin Keelan. So I was mad at myself, Christian. I was mad at myself this weekend. I thought his name, my eyes deceived me, and I thought it was Gavin Klein.
Yeah.
I don't know where I heard that. I was 100% sure it was Gavin Klein, and I was mad at myself. So that is my bad.
When I looked him up, to get our pictures that we normally do for the show, I did notice that mistake, and I trusted you, and I really didn't feel like pointing it out because I caught it while you were recording. So I was just like, let's just ride with it. His name's Gavin Klein. I don't even know if he deserves the respect to be called his real name, because clearly he did not do much this weekend.
Yeah, Gavin Keelan. So that's my bad, folks. But anyway, moving on. The Bats really just woke up for a phenomenal inning in the bottom of the 9th inning. LSU was given some help to start the 9th via 2 errors made by Tennessee third baseman Dean Curley, and then that was followed by a walk to load the bases in the bottom of the 9th with only 1 out. And then, really surprising, Dalton Beck, in only his 2nd at-bat in conference play, hit a 2 RBI single, and only his 2nd at-bat in conference play, so really good by Dalton Beck stepping up. We saw it kind of last week, Christian, with Ashton Larson stepping up with the 3-run bomb in that game 1 against Alabama. And then Dalton Beck did the same thing. So, I'm sure it's really hard to, when you're not getting playing time, when you're not starting, when you're not featured on a team like LSU, I'm sure it's challenging to stay in the game, but like Ashton Larson did a great job of that, obviously in this game 1 against Alabama, and give credit to Dalton Beck for doing the same thing with 2-run RBI single to start the scoring in the bottom of the 9th for LSU on Friday night. After Dalton Beck, Derek Curiel hit an RBI single, as he always does. Curiel tied the game with that RBI single, and then Jared Jones finished it off with an absolute moonshot, a monstrous 452-foot 3-run bomb to give LSU the walk-off win. So it was just great fight, great grit from, you're going into the bottom of the 9th down 3-0. You think, oh Lord, this is not a good start to the weekend, and the offense is able to find a way to bounce back and to really show their fight and show their grit and determination. So really great fight and great comeback win Friday in game 1. Now in game 2, We'll try not to spend too much time on this one, but I do want to cover it. This was the only game LSU lost of the weekend. Tennessee won the game 9-3. It was Anthony Ianson versus Marcus Phillips. It's kind of odd. The game Tennessee won was the game, unfortunately, that LSU broke the attendance record. I did hate that, but it was a great job of the fans getting out there on a Saturday night, breaking the attendance record, even though LSU did end up losing that game 9-3. I thought Anthony Ianson was good early. He had 3 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. He also got a big strikeout to end the 3rd inning, where he ended the 3rd inning with a big strikeout, stranding runners on the corners. 2 runs scored on 3 hits for Tennessee in the 4th off of a Cannon Peebles RBI single, followed by an Ariel Antigua fielder's choice. Big combination of an Ianson strikeout and a runner thrown out, trying to steal 3rd. That really was big, getting LSU out of the 5th without allowing a run. They really struggled in this game throughout against Marcus Phillips, who was really good and really on point, the starter for Tennessee. Stephen Milam led off the 5th with a double, and that was, at the time, LSU's first hit of the game on Saturday. LSU left 2 runners on base in the 5th without scoring a run. I thought Ianson was solid. Anthony Ianson, I thought he was pretty solid. He ended up pitching 5 2/3 innings, giving up 2 runs on 6 hits, 4 walks, and 8 strikeouts. William Schmidt came in and walked a batter before Maverick Rizzi got a ground out to end the 6th inning. A run scored in the 7th for Tennessee after a walk, and 2 singles were allowed by Maverick Rizzi, and then a sacrifice fly that was hit off of Chase Shores. The Tennessee starter, Marcus Phillips, was really good. He was really dominant against LSU. Marcus Phillips only allowed 1 LSU hit through the first 6 innings that he pitched. Phillips touched triple digits at points on the radar in this game, so Marcus Phillips really caused a lot of trouble on the mound for LSU. Michael Braswell and Stephen Milam did hit back-to-back solo bombs off of Marcus Phillips to lead off the 7th, so it was 3-2 going into the 8th. But unfortunately, LSU did give up 6 runs in the 8th inning, though, off of 2 hit-by pitches, a walk, and 3 hits, including a 3-run home run by Cannon Peebles off of Cooper Williams that put the game away. One other stat is John Pearson did have a pinch hit solo bomb in the bottom of the 8th to make the final score 9-3. So LSU did lose the game on Saturday, and you go into Sunday, rubber match, 2 o'clock, game 3, big series, big top 10 series, and LSU, not only did they get the win, they got the run rule win. LSU won 12-2 in game 3 of the rubber match. They won 12-2 in 8 innings via the run rule. We talked about it earlier, but Kason Evans made his first collegiate start, and he did struggle a little bit in the first. He gave up 2 runs in the first on 4 hits, but after that, Kason Evans was absolutely excellent, absolutely fantastic in the 5 innings after that. Kason Evans only allowed 2 more hits and no more runs after allowing 2 runs on 4 hits in the first inning. Kason Evans, he finished pitching. He pitched 6 innings, only gave up 2 runs on 6 hits and 6 strikeouts. Kason Evans was absolutely on point, what he's been all season, and this time in a different role. And something I did want to say, the guy is still a freshman. Yes, he's been all-world. He's been excellent this season, but he's still a freshman. And to make your first collegiate start, Christian, not only in SEC play, but to make it in a rubber match in Alex Box Stadium against the defending national champions in a top 10 matchup, and to do what Kason Evans did is just, absolutely phenomenal.
It's huge
stuff out of Kason Evans.
And I think LSU gave him the right support, too. I think it was very important for LSU to get the runs they did early. make the game 5-2 as early as they did because, I mean, like you said, it was his first big SEC start. He's still a freshman, so if he's having to pitch while the team's behind, he's got a lot more pressure on him because if he lets a game get away from him, he's going to get yanked. I think LSU being able to hit well on Sunday and battle back from down 2-0 was very important for Case and Evans to do well. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, and LSU was able to get the run rule later in the game, but yeah. I think that early offense mixed in with a good pitcher on the mound, I mean that's a solution to winning right there. That is a formula for winning. So,
yeah. Now we'll go through kind of, again, the offense really was able to burst open in Sunday in Game 3, and we'll go through kind of the rundown, and you're going to hear a lot of Derek Curiel in this rundown of the offensive production, so be prepared. Curiel, again, he was the one who got it started the scoring off for LSU with a solo bomb in the bottom of the first to lead off the game. Curiel then hit an RBI double in the second after a triple by Luis Hernandez. Jake Brown hit a 3-run bomb later in the second inning to give LSU the 5-2 lead after 2 innings, so good job by Jake Brown. Curiel had another RBI single in the fourth after a Chris Stanfield triple. And then Curiel also drove in 2 more runs in the fifth with a double by Derek Curiel. So again, just a phenomenal, incredible, amazing game Sunday by Derek Curiel. Michael Braswell hit a solo bomb in the seventh. It was Braswell's second consecutive game with a bomb. And I did want to make this point about Braswell. I feel like we kind of talked about it pre-show, Christian, me and you off screen, but Michael Braswell to me is very underrated because yes, he had a slow start to the season, and yes, his numbers wise may not be as big, as impressive, but the guy has so much experience, and he's been good in SEC play. I mean, I believe you said earlier, Christian, he has one of the highest batting averages in the SEC.
Yeah, and let's make this rundown right now because while we're on it. SEC batting averages right now for LSU, the leaders. Chris Stanfield is first with a 352 batting average. Derek Curiel is second with 345. Surprisingly, I would expect him to be, honestly, in the 400s, it feels like. Daniel Dickinson is 312. That's also kind of a surprise. I feel like he had a slow weekend this weekend. And Michael Braswell is fourth on this team in SEC batting average with 302 batting average and his 2 home runs this weekend, which were big. So, I mean, Michael Braswell, when you look at it, Michael Braswell has been one of your better players in SEC play. Credit to him. I think his overall average is down because he started slow. But the experience rises to the top for sure for Braswell, and he is huge on this baseball team. He doesn't play the sharpest third base, but that's fine because he offers a lot of experience, and he's not going to make any errors. He's not gonna take bad at bats. That's one thing I noticed about Michael Braswell is he's always giving you good at bats. He's always getting that pitch kind of a bit higher than what it should go to. So
he just has so much experience. Like He's spent 2 seasons at South Carolina. He was at LSU last season. So you're talking about a guy, him and Chris Stanfield, who have SEC experience.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Stanfield too. The reason why Stanfield's playing so well is because he's experienced. I mean, he's been in the league. So that's huge when it comes to SEC baseball. You can have the best freshman in the world, but if you don't have experience, I don't want to call it William Schmidt, but William Schmidt's trying to get that experience right now. He's trying to grow his game on the college level because the college level's, I mean, it's a different animal. It's honestly a minor league. So Chris Stanfield, Michael Braswell, props to them. They have been huge for LSU in SEC play.
Yeah. LSU did eventually score 3 more runs in the 8th inning to end the game. They had 3 hits in the 8th inning, including a Luis Hernandez 2 RBI double that walked the game off. So good game by Hernandez. He had a triple early in the game, and then he walked it off with a 2 RBI double. Zach Cowan did come in eventually for Case and Evans and pitched 2 scoreless innings pitched by Zach Cowan in both the 7th and the 8th with 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. So then another great game by Zach Cowan and Case and Evans, just 2 guys where, you can say Zach Cowan is one of the best bullpen arms in the country. But can you say that about Case and Evans anymore? Because I don't know. Is he a bullpen arm? Like, what is he now?
I don't know. I think we'll
is
see
he
next
your Sunday
week.
guy?
I think we'll see next week. Whatever Jay wants to do. I believe he said in the interview he's going to need an extra day of rest, so we might see him at the pen again. But yeah, is he a bullpen arm? That's
I
a
would
very good
expect
question.
the earliest you see him is Game 2 on Saturday.
Yeah,
the earliest
I would
you
think
see
so.
him.
I would think so.
Yeah. Again, outstanding game for Derek Curiel, going 4 for 4 with 5 RBIs, a home run, and 2 doubles. Braswell's second consecutive game with a bomb. Yeah, it was really great to see, the offense just explode on Sunday after 2 weeks where the offensive production had kind of been trending downward. But, it was a great weekend. It was a statement weekend for LSU, up to number 2 in the country now in the D1 top 25. So, yeah, I mean, just a great weekend, kind of as we close. And, it's one they needed going into the stretch. We talked about this 3-week stretch starting with home against Tennessee and then at A&M this upcoming weekend and then home against Arkansas. Really impressive weekend by LSU. A statement weekend. One I didn't predict. I didn't necessarily expect. I knew it was possible, but just really good fight by the guys. Really good to see them. Yeah, I mean, it was just really good fight by the team, especially on Friday. And then on Sunday, just the atmosphere. Give all credit in the world to LSU fans for coming out and supporting the team, especially on Saturday, breaking the attendance record. Kind of going into the schedule as we close out the schedule for this week. So we are recording this show on the afternoon of Monday, April 28th. So tomorrow, Tuesday, April 29th, LSU plays their midweek game at 6:30 at home in the box against Southeastern Louisiana University. And then starting on Friday, LSU plays in College Station at Texas A&M, who is unranked, but Texas A&M has been playing better lately. And it's always hard. No matter how A&M's playing, it's always hard to win in College Station.
No matter the sport.
Yeah. So, yeah, Game 1 Friday starts at 6 o'clock. Game 2 Saturday starts at 2 o'clock. And Game 3 Sunday starts at 1 o'clock. One point we did want to say is we are kind of planning right now to do a watch party, I believe, on Friday. Try to do something like that.
Yep.
Hopefully get that out there to you guys. It'll be fun with Noah and Lloyd and Christian and the boys and stuff like that. And, closing thoughts from you, Christian, before we close the show out?
Yeah. I was going to show you the Greg Dykman home run. Shout out that 2017 team. But yes, closing points. I think it was very important that LSU fielded the ball better than Tennessee this weekend. Tennessee their outfield was not. They weren't dropping balls they were supposed to catch, but they were dropping balls that they could have had a chance on in the outfield. And then specifically on Friday, the third baseman probably lost the game for them. So it's very encouraging to see LSU be able to field the ball the way they do. And then the second thing is they start slow. LSU starts slow, but I think it's very important that this pitching rotation and staff holds the rope, because when they hold the rope, they give the offense a chance. And as you know, LSU was not putting together the best at-bats on Friday or Saturday earlier in the game. That's probably due to the pitching they were facing, but it felt like a lot of the at-bats were not very good. But it was more important that LSU's pitching staff kept them in the game for Friday and for most of the game Saturday, because LSU did have a chance Saturday. And let me roll this clip of Greg Dykman in 2017 hitting an absolute moonshot. Here we go. 486 feet in a midweek game over the Intimidator. I think this is probably one of the farthest baseballs ever hit in college baseball.
Yeah, that was insane. You said that was in 2017?
Yeah, the 2017 team. So that was pretty impressive. Jared Jones has that power. He hasn't that's a perfect pitch. Like, that pitch is, you pull it. He doesn't have the intimidator to hit it over, but you have to pull that ball. And Jared Jones doesn't really pull baseballs too often. He's kind of a straightaway guy. So, but if Jared Jones can get a meatball like that, you could probably see 500 from Jared Jones, because Greg Dykman was not the biggest guy, and Jared Jones is pretty big. So,
but yeah, clutch hit by Jones when you needed it the most on Friday night. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the show. We appreciate you guys always tuning in. Tune in later in the week. We'll have our weekly preview of this Texas A&M team. We'll bring that to you guys later in the week. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Give us your thoughts on what was an incredible weekend in the box. LSU winning the series 2 out of 3, getting a big top 10 series win against the defending national champions Tennessee Volunteers. We thank you guys for tuning in, and we hope you have a good one.